Last year, I made over $47,000 on Upwork as a copywriter without being a native English speaker. And today, I'm gonna walk you through the exact system I use. The same one that helped my students land over 50 clients last year, including one guy who made $800 just 8 days after starting on Upwork. I won't keep anything behind a paywall like others. So if you're willing to spend the next hour or so listening and actually implementing what I'm about to teach, not only will you save a disgusting amount of time, but you'll also land your first client way faster. Here's what we're gonna cover today. First of all, I'll cover the hidden Upwork hierarchy nobody talks about and how you can take advantage of it to make money as a beginner copywriter as soon as possible. Then I'll show you my killer Upwork profile formula and how you can create an outstanding profile even if you have no clue what you're doing. Next, I'll show you how to find high-paying copywriting jobs and write applications that get responses. After that, I'll show you how to close clients on sales calls like a complete pro. And then lastly, I'll show you the exact message template that have made me over 40K last year. To make your life easy, I created a cheat sheet with all the action steps you can immediately take to start making money on Upwork as a copywriter. Plus, you're getting my exact job application templates that land me clients every single day. Just click the link in the description, it's 100% free. Now, let me start this off by saying why Upwork is worth your time. In fact, there's two reasons. Both of them play hugely in your favor. Okay, so let me start this off by saying that clients on Upwork already know they need your service. So all you gotta do is just be the best choice available, and that's literally it. Think of it like looking for a barber before a date. You already know your cut is shite, and what you're doing is you're just looking for the best possible choice at the given moment, okay? You're not looking for the best barber in the world. You're just looking for what's the best option right now, during this day, during this hour. And Upwork works the exact same way. Now, a lot of you will say that it's impossible to be the best choice available as a beginner. That brings me to the second point, which is that the bar on Upwork is extremely, and I mean extremely low. Sure, there are 18 million freelancers on Upwork, but how many of them actually got quality? Guys, I talk to clients every single day, and most of them tell me that their previous clients were just as terrible as it could possibly get, and that I'm super professional to work with and that it's so refreshing. And honestly, that's just funny to me because I'm doing a couple of things differently, and that's literally it. First thing that I'm doing differently is simply understanding how Upwork treats different groups of freelancers. So let me start this off with a little story that I'm 100% sure will give you a lot of hope if you're a copywriting beginner and you have never got a client in your life. It was September 20th of 2024 and I was sitting in a local KFC. I was staring at my Upwork profile with like $1,000 earned, maybe even less. Because I had no clue how to get copywriting clients any other way, I just said fuck it and went all in on Upwork. My goal was to make 10 grand in the next 4 months. At that time, I genuinely thought hitting my first 10 grand online was gonna be the moment where everything changes. Like girls would just camp outside my house waiting for me to wake up. I don't know why, but most guys have this same delusional fantasy where they think making their first 10 grand is the holy grail of everything. Anyways, I actually pulled it off. And yeah, I was super happy. But here's the thing, something did change, just not what I expected. Because here's what blew my mind. I made my next 10K in just 2 months with like half the effort. And it all came down to understanding something I call the Upwork secret hierarchy. Nobody talks about it. And I'm convinced that this is the most important thing you need to understand before doing anything else on Upwork. So let's get into this. So let me start this off by saying that Upwork is rigged. And in my opinion, it's rigged because 10% of freelancers on the platform make roughly 90% of the total income. And that's not an exaggeration. It's something I came up with thanks to my research and also thanks to my experience. This literally means the algorithm buries new profiles because clients filters by how much you make and how many 5-star reviews you have. So if you have none, this means you're literally invisible. Which sounds terrible, but only until you realize this. Once you understand exactly how to get into the top 10%, Upwork stops working against you and stops working for you. So let me explain how to get to the top 10%. Now, if you're thinking that it will be impossible to get to the top 10%, I've got great news for you, because it doesn't mean that you have to be the best. It just simply means hitting one specific milestone. And if you have strategy to get to that milestone, it's simpler than you might think. So let me tell you what that milestone actually is. The milestone is to make your first 10K on the platform. And the reason why 10K specifically is super simple. When clients are looking for copywriters to work with, most of them only look for copywriters with 10K plus earned. This basically signals that you have some sort of quality, right? Because you wouldn't be able to earn 10K if you didn't have some sort of basic quality. And by the way, this is why I was able to make my second 10K in a fraction of the time it took me to make my first 10 grand. And obviously, because I had great reputation and the more money I made, the better reputation I had, the more clients started reaching out to me. And because of that, the compounding effect happened. So, to wrap this up, before 10K, you're chasing everyone. After 10K, everyone chases you. So, how do you get to 10K ASAP Rocky as a newbie copywriter? So first of all, make sure to take one-time jobs only, okay? The more completed jobs and 5-star reviews you have, well, the more the algorithm is gonna show you to other clients. Next thing, make sure to stick to one-time projects between $200 and $1,500. With cheaper projects, it's impossible to hit this milestone fast. Now, when it comes down to most profitable gigs in copywriting in 2026, it's super simple. Either go with sales pages, landing pages, or VSL scripts. It's also a great benefit if you can design sales pages and landing pages, because you're not only giving them one service, which is writing, but you're also giving them building. And this is how I'm being able to getting paid anywhere between 1,500 to 5K for a single project, because I provide both services. And obviously the client doesn't have to waste their time looking for another freelancer to build their landing page. So it's great. Now that you know what 99% of beginners don't know, there's one thing standing between you and that first client, and that is your profile. Think of your Upwork profile as a shop window. Doesn't matter how good at copywriting you are. You could be world-class level, but if someone walks past a shop and the window is, dirty, half broken, and they can't even tell if you sell groceries or electronics, they won't care. The same thing applies to Upwork. If your profile doesn't clearly say what you're offering and why you're the best choice, then it needs fixing. But don't worry, because as I've said before, most profiles on Upwork, very gently put, are very, very bad. To be exact, I think it was around 10 clients last year who told me that they picked me just because my profile looked so professional, unlike others, and that it was so refreshing to see. Anyway, I'm not saying this to stroke my ego here. I'm saying this to prove that this is super important. So yeah, let me show you step by step how to do it. Here's my Upwork profile, and if you look here, right, this is the bio. So this is the headline of the bio, and this is the actual profile description. Now, the way we are going to do this is a little bit different from my own profile, because I already have social proof, and most of you probably don't have. So I created a full template you can just follow to create a killer profile, even if you have no social proof. So let's get right into this. As I've said, it's included in the link down below. The entire guide is there. So we're gonna create a credibility through the people you learn from, okay? Reliability through specific promises, and professionalism by being more detailed than everyone else. Now, very important rule, keep it between 350 to 500 words. I would say 400 max, okay? Because shorter looks weak, but longer won't get read. Clients skim through content and they don't read. Therefore, you must make it scannable. So format it to be scannable. So one line, one space, break up the text, and use emojis like, these two. So like if you look at my profile, you see my text is broken up into like very, very short paragraphs, and there's like spaces. So you want to do that. And whenever you have highlights, you just highlight them with like these emojis, right? Don't use childish emojis. Just use like these professional ones, okay? So yes. So the headline is this, okay? So how do you actually create it? This is the first thing they see in search results. So say what you do and which platforms you use. No creativity needed, just be clear. So like if you look at my profile, it's just direct response copywriting, funnel building, and landing pages. And then go high level, which is like the software where you build landing pages. So like if you're doing email copywriting and scripting, it's like email marketing and YouTube script writing or VSL script writing, right? It's like, so you just give your specialty. Very simple. Because look, if I look for jobs and I click talent, right? And let's say, I don't know, video editing, right? Let's just say. So like if I look here, right? Video editor, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram video editing, right? Here I can see YouTube video editor. This is very bad, right? Because it's like only like video editing, but I don't know which platform he uses, what video editing he does. Does he do YouTube? Does he do movies? Does he do TikTok? Like all these things. So yeah, the same thing here, UGC creator, that's not very specific, right? It's like you want to be specific, what you're doing and what platforms are you using. Very simple. Next part, the broad authority opener. So like if you look at my profile, I've helped my clients generate over 450,000 in total by building their funnels, designing their websites, and writing all the copy, blah, blah, blah. You don't have the proof. So what you do, nobody gives a shit that you're a hard worker, and every upcoming freelancer says that crap. So you need to stand out. Like I've said, borrow credibility from people they already respect and use it to your own advantage. So think of it in this principle. Think of it, I read 100 books so you don't have to style, right? Like you've already seen these videos on YouTube. So here's the formula. Most people do X plus I studied how authority does Y, so you get Z. So what you do, you call out what most freelancers do. So you start by pointing out the bad approach everybody does. So it's like, most people who build landing pages guess what converts. This makes you look confident, which is always good. Then you name drop one to two authorities they know. Hormozi, Sabri, Russell Brunson, Iman Ghazi, Sam Ovens. You just pick relevant authorities to the copywriting gigs you specialize in. And then you say exactly what you studied from them. Not I read their book, but say I broke down how they structure their landing pages and I use their framework so that you can get XYZ result, right? For example, most copywriters guess what converts, but I've broken down how Alex Hormozi, Sabri Sabi, and Russell Brunson structure their funnels. So working with me, you get a copy built on frameworks from people doing 100 million plus, not just some random ideas. Like super fucking simple. Okay? It's like you borrow authority from someone. Now, next part, next paragraph, the reputation stakes. Show them your name is on the line. This is very effective for beginners. Very simply, you can pause the video and just read what's on the screen. But basically what you're saying here is that, hey, I admit I am a beginner. I admit that I'm starting, but because of I'm starting, my reputation is on the line. And therefore, I will do every single thing possible to make sure you get your project delivered right. unlike people who already have reputations and they don't care as much. So working with me, you will get 100% attention and 100%, good approach. Next part, super simple. You just send them to look at your work. Because look, now you created intrigue. Now you created curiosity. Now you made them be like, oh, this guy or this girl, they're actually solid. Like, I actually want to see like if they're good at copywriting. So your portfolio, that's the heavy lifting here. And your only job is to get them to look at it. Okay? Like, the profile description is meant to remove all the pressure and all the friction from your potential client's head, okay? If they look at it, it has to be simple and it has to be action-oriented. Every single line has to serve some sort of purpose. And this one specific line is that it tells them to go check it out. Take a look at my portfolio below. The goal is to get them clicking and give them reason why they should look, because it will give them confidence. They're hiring someone who knows what they're doing, and it saves them time scrolling through other freelancers. Once they see your work, they will know they found the right person and can't stop searching. So sell the certainty and safety they get from seeing proof you can deliver. Next thing, the reliability promise. So tell them exactly what to expect, okay? So here's the thing. Clients have been burned before. Freelancers who ghost, freelancers who take weeks to reply, or freelancers who miss every single deadline. They're worried you will do the same. So sell them exactly what working with you looks like. Remove the doubt. You do this by including 4 important key elements. You include by setting up expectation by saying, what's your response time? What's your delivery time? How many revisions are you willing to do? And what is your standard communication process? Meaning, how long will it take to respond? So, or that you send progress updates at every key milestone. You don't disappear for days. You let them immediately if something comes up, like stuff like that. In this way, they never have to wonder where things stand, okay? Next thing, very simple. The service list. You just tell them exactly what you offer, okay? And you just say, what are the core services? What are the platforms? If you're using any, if you're like building your funnels in Go High Level, ClickFunnels, System, all this good stuff, and what's included, right? Do you only write the copy, or do you also handle the design? Do you handle the strategy? Like, how many revisions? Just remove any confusion, right? And like, you can find my profile and see it in there. I've got it like very well in there. What you do is you go on Upwork, click talent, and you just like click, and you just write my name, right? And yeah, you see, super simple. So yes. All right. Next thing, the qualifier. Say who you work best with. So just make sure you look like a specialist, not someone who takes any job. So just say who you work the best with. So if you go on my profile, so look, I only work with established businesses doing 6+ figures who understand that a funnel isn't just about looking good, it's about making money. Super simple, right? And then lastly, very important thing, the anti-pitch close. End without being desperate. So most freelancers end by begging for the hire. That's needy energy and it pushes people away. And you're gonna do the exact opposite. So what you're gonna do, I'm just gonna show you on my profile, right? You're just gonna show that you're not desperate, and if they like your approach, just write me a message, just text me, just hire me, super simple. So look here, I dismantle this conversationally. So that said, don't expect any crazy close or sales pitch at the end, because I know these tactics don't work and I personally hate them. If you simply like my approach and portfolio, then click the green invite to job button and let's have a conversation on how I can help you. Looking forward to have a productive chat. So you just give them this non-need energy that you don't like need them. Okay, you don't say that specifically, but it shows that energy. And then if they just liked what they saw, like, hey, just reach out and I'll be super happy to work with you. The next thing that's gonna separate you from everyone else is your portfolio section. The best part about this is you can fix this in like 5 or 10 minutes. I've coached enough people to say most of them just throw random stuff in there. And that's exactly why it's such an easy win for you. See, after clients read your profile description, they want to see proof that you're able to back up the beep you just claimed. This is why they want to see your portfolio. If some of you don't know what a portfolio is, it's just a fancy term to describe your past copywriting work to prove you can do the job you're applying for. So here's what we're gonna do in the next couple of minutes. First, I'll show you where to find your portfolio section, and then I'll give you 5 easy fixes you can do immediately to make yourself stand out. After scanning your profile description and being impressed by what you just wrote in there, clients want to naturally see if you can back up what you just said in the portfolio, and the portfolio is right under your profile description. So let me just show you the most basic principles you can use right now to create a killer copywriting portfolio on Upwork. So basically what you want to do is like you want to sort it by categories. Okay, so like you can see landing pages, sales funnels, case study, right? If you go more, it's email marketing, right? So you just want to divide it like by the copy type. And next thing that you want to do is like make sure you just give it like super simple title. So like landing pages, VSL scripts, YouTube scripts, email marketing, landing page copy, sales page copy, sales funnels, email copy, all this good stuff. Next thing, make sure it's got nicely looking simple thumbnail, because clients just want simplicity. They don't want to be confused. Your main job is to make their life as easy as possible while they are picking you. And if you make them think about what you mean by specific things on your profile, it's going to be impossible for you to get hired, because by definition, your main job as a copywriter is to make their life easy. Then if you make their life easy, they will pay you. So just do a simple thumbnail with a black background and white, huge, bold text. You can create this thumbnail in Canva in like 1 minute. Okay, it's like there's nothing hard about it. You just create black background, add white text, make it bold, make it big, and make it look like this. There's nothing to this, okay? When it comes down to the portfolio itself, when you click on this, right, what you want to do. Let's say I have a landing page portfolio. So what you want to do is like you want to give what is the role that you actually took in this, in this portfolio. And so you just say what you did, right? So I did landing page copy, I did landing page design, I optimized it for conversions, and I also did A/B testing. If you just did copy and the design, just write landing page copy, landing page design. Very simple. Next thing, you just want to give them a quick overview of your landing pages, like intro to what they can expect. So just give them 3 points, divide them by emojis, and just give them overall context, okay? So first thing, you just tell them what they can expect in there. So a showcase of some of the landing pages I have designed and wrote for my clients. And then in the second one, you say what was the goal of the landing pages. This is important because you give them context. And by giving them context, you show that you understand what you're talking about. So primarily focused on high converting lead generation, service-based page, and online courses. Super simple. And then you say who the work was for. Because if, let's say, a real estate agent looks at your portfolio and you only have like online courses in there, or you only worked for fitness coaches, well, it's irrelevant. So you want to make sure you give them who you worked for. Super simple. And then the format of the portfolio, super simple. What you do is you give them the name of the landing page, what it was for, what was the purpose. So landing page to sell an online course. Then in the subheader, you just tell them what to do to access the page. Super simple. So below, click on the link. Then you include the link, then you include a clickable link, and they can click on it. And under the clickable link, include a screenshot of the page. In this way, if they don't want to waste their time clicking on an external link, they can immediately see. However, if they like the page from the screen and they want to see the rest of your abilities, the rest of how actually the page looked, well, then they can click. And yeah, so you see, right? Very simple. I did this with all the pages. And you pretty much just construct your portfolio in this exact same way. Doesn't matter if it's VSL script, email copy, just do it in the exact same way. So yes. All right, so Upwork works in two ways. You either go through the marketplace and send applications to find jobs, which we'll cover in a couple of minutes, or clients find you through the search engine and reach out to you. And this starts working in your favor once you hit your first 10K. So we gotta get ready for this scenario. The way you become visible is by setting up something called skill tags. Now, skill tags are basically like local Upwork SEO. When you set them up correctly, you appear in the first page or second page of search results. That increases the likelihood of getting hired. It takes a couple of minutes and the ROI is insane. Take November of the last year as an example. I had a client who paid me almost 5K for building a simple funnel. And the best thing about it is that he reached out to me and I closed him without even hopping on a sales call, which is insane if you think how much he paid me. This is why we want to make sure that our skill tags are intact. So let me show you how to set them up properly. Here you have your portfolio. Hopefully you have finished it by now. And when you scroll down, there's reviews I have from my past clients. And then there's skills, okay? And these skills is basically something called skill tags. So the way you pick your skill tags, very, very, very simple, okay? You have 15, so it's like 15 skill tags maximum. And the way you pick the good skill tags is very simple. You just, let's say you're an email copywriter. So you go to the search bar right here, make sure this jobs is turned on, and you just search for, email copywriting. And you look for the jobs, okay? And let's say, and what you do, you look for at least 10 or 15 jobs. And when you look at this, here you can see the skill tags, right? Skill tag. It's every single time it's under each job. And your job will be to go over at least 10 or 15 jobs and find the 15 most common, the most repeated skill tags. And based on this, you just fill out your skill tags. That's pretty much it. That's the way I research my skill tags, and it works really well. Makes you findable, makes you searchable. Super sick thing. If you applied everything I taught you so far, your profile is already better than most profiles on Upwork. So congrats. You're gonna stand out and you're gonna have the same success I had or my students have had. See, over the past 2.5 years, I've coached over 200 beginner copywriters. Helped at least 50 or 60 of them get a ton of high-paying clients. And over that time, I've also sent over 500 proposals minimum. I also helped my students review at least 3,000 proposals. The reason I'm saying this is because I am confident to say what kind of applications get you hired and which ones don't. And this is why right now I'm going to show you how to apply for copywriting jobs on Upwork. First, we'll cover how to find high-paying copywriting jobs, and then I'll show you a job application template that generated most of my money on Upwork last year and how you can use it yourself. You can get it for free in the description of the video. Now, let's finally get into the job application process. The first thing that you need to do when it comes down to the job application process is to buy connects. And let me explain what connects actually are and why they're so important and why they're worth it, okay? So connects are Upwork's in-app currency and you need them to apply to jobs. Basically, every application costs connects. So without them, you literally cannot do anything. So you need to invest at least $100 worth upfront. That gets you around 600 connects, which is roughly enough to apply to 30 jobs. And 30 solid applications is more than enough to land your first client if you follow what's in this course or in this video. And before you call $100 expensive, let me make you think of it this way. So your first client on Upwork will likely pay you anywhere from $500 to $1,500. So spending $100 to get there isn't a cost. It's the highest return investment you'll make this year. And I'm super positive because I've spent, I would say, between $1,500 to $2,000 and I've made 47 grand, right? So yeah, it's worth it if you follow good strategy. Right now, let me show you how to get connects. So right now you're on your Upwork homepage and you basically scroll down there to this connects bar, you click and you just click buy connects, right? And if you click there, you can see you can buy a pre-existing amount or you can type in custom amount. So we can do like 600 and you see it's $90 plus tax, which roughly is going to be $100. Okay, now let's cover the applying strategy. So when you're applying to jobs, only apply to jobs posted under 18 hours ago. The reason is super simple. If someone posted a job 3 days ago, the client probably already hired someone. So you would just be wasting your time and money. So just don't do that. Next thing I highly recommend you is to download the Upwork app and check it 5 times a day. And I'm super freaking serious. The reason is simple. When you're a beginner, you want to give yourself the best chances to get hired. And one of the best ways is by applying as early as possible, because there is a higher chance the client will actually see your message as a first one. And if they see your message as a first one and it's actually good, they will hire you because they don't want to be wasting their own time. They're not here to wait, sit, and wait for someone on the platform for weeks before they actually can hire someone. Most of the times they need the projects delivered very, very fast. Next thing, and I'll go over this, make sure to save jobs first and then write proposals in batches. So what you do is you simply find all the jobs you want to apply to, you save them, and then you write all your proposals at once. And this way it's more effective and less time consuming. And last thing, make sure to apply to only jobs that have under 10 proposals on it. Because when a job has under 10 proposals, you actually have a good chance. Under 20 is okay if the job is perfect for you, but more than that, and you're probably wasting your time. Now the last thing and very important one, make sure to follow Upwork's rules to the T. The reason is because if they ban you once, you don't have a chance to get your account back. They're super strict with their rules and they don't let anyone back. So if you don't want to waste your time to get clients on an easy mode, just don't do that. So now let me show you how to actually apply to these jobs and how to actually follow these rules. So right now we are on the Upwork's homepage and here you can see best matches, most recent, my feed, and saved jobs. So best matches is basically jobs that match your profile description and your skill tags. Okay, so there you can see like the best jobs on the market for you, the best fit. Now, what I like to do, I like to search for the jobs based on the most recent ones, okay? Because like I've said, you only want to apply to jobs that are 18 hours or younger, okay? So where you can actually see when this job was posted. So right here in the top corner, you can see it was posted 2 minutes ago. And here you can see posted 5 minutes ago, 24 minutes ago, 42 minutes ago, etc. Now, when I was talking about the proposals, again, you want to look for jobs with less than 10 proposals ideally. So where do you find this? So if you look here, you see proposals less than 5. This means that less than 5 people applied to the job, okay? Now, if you just find a good job, right? Let's say I want to find a landing page building job, right? I want to build a landing page. This is how I actually look at it. So it's posted 5 minutes ago. This is fresh. And let's see how many proposals is there. Less than 5. This is sweet. So what I can do, I can click on this heart button right here. I can save the job. And then once I got all the jobs I want to apply to, so let's say I go through the market, I then go to the save jobs, and here's all the jobs I saved, right? And then I can just apply to them, and that's pretty much it. Now you know how to technically apply to jobs. However, here's one big problem. You only want to work with high-paying clients who are also easy to work with. So how do you actually find these good clients that are not a headache and that are not broke? So first of all, make sure that they have something called payment verified. So if the payment on their profile isn't verified, there's a chance they won't pay you at all. And when you're starting out, you can't afford to waste time on a job they might not pay. So make sure that they've got payment verified. Next thing. Look for clients who spend at least $5,000 on the platform, ideally 10K plus. This basically means they're a real business. They know how Upwork works and they actually have budget to pay you. And if there's a client with zero spend, it's just a gamble, and you don't want to be taking gambles at the beginning, right? Because it's already hard enough. Next thing, very, very important. Read every single review on their profile before you apply. Because if you see reviews that say, bad communication, this client ghosted me, this client threatened me to give me bad review, this client did this client didn't show up on the call, what this basically means is that past behavior indicates future behavior, which basically means if they did this to someone else, they'll probably do the same shit too, and you don't want to risk that, right? Next thing that you need to do is to look for clients who have paid real money for a single project. So what I mean by this, if you have a client whose history is $15 for every single project, it means they simply don't have the budget to pay you $500, $1,000, $2,000. So like, don't waste your time and effort on those people, and you can find it out very simple on Upwork. But first, I'll cover the last point, which is to make sure to stick to fixed price jobs paying $100 or more. So, in my opinion, hourly jobs attract clients who want to micromanage every minute you spend. And fixed price is super clean, right? You agree that you get paid 1K for a landing page, and then it's your job if if it takes you 1 hour, or if it takes you 5 hours, or if it takes you 20 minutes. The only thing that matters is the quality, right? And if you get it done in 5 minutes or 10 hours, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now I've shown you how to actually look for high-paying copywriting jobs on Upwork, and now it's time to do the most important thing, which is writing job applications. So what I'm gonna do right now is I will write a job proposal live, and I'll explain why it works so well and all the psychology behind it. So let's do it. First, let me break down the underlying psychology of how to write proposals that not only will get opened, but also will get responses and will get you clients. So first underlying psychological principle is to not waste their time. See, make sure the proposal has maximum of 150 to 200 words, because the reason is simple. Clients are reading 50 proposals and they don't have time to sit there all day reading boring essays. Just think of it from your own perspective. Imagine you had a business, you were running a full-time business, 8 or 10 hours per day, and you needed to hire somebody else, right? To do your job as fast as possible. And then somebody else just gives you this long essay. And not only you have one of those essays, but you have like 20 of them. Now, are you going to read all of them? Obviously you are not. So because of this, make sure it's fucking short and you get to the point ASAP Rocky. Okay, it's like the most important thing. Now, every single proposal or every single job application has 3 parts to it, and you use this structure every single time. So a hook, which is your first 2 sentences, which makes them open the message, then the body that proves that you can actually do the job, and then call to action or the close that actually makes them want to book a call with you. That's all that there's to it. And the reason why you want to book a call with them is simply to talk to them one-on-one, because that feels more personal and that gives you a higher chance to get hired. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, what the hell do I do if I have no reviews, no testimonials, no nothing? Because most of y'all just don't. So what you want to be doing, you don't want to be competing on track record, okay? So instead, you want to be competing on a method. And here's exactly what I mean. So use something called the borrowed authority method. So you basically explain that your approach, the way you write your copy, the way you design landing pages, the way you write your script is built on studying of someone who actually got the proof. So for example, I've broken down how Hormozy, Sam Sabri, and Bronson structure their sales pages and build every project on those frameworks. If you say this, you now sound like an authority because your work indicates that what you're doing is not based off of guesswork, but of something that makes sense and works, okay? And this gives you the authority even if you don't have it. Now, very important thing, make sure to match the authority to the client's world, okay? If they're in info products, Hormozy and Bronson make sense. If they're in a different niche though, you have to find these names yourself. And the best way you do that, just use Google or ChatGPT. It's very simple. Just ask a question, what are the biggest authorities who make the most money in health niche or in fitness niche? And it will just give you something, right? Very simple. Before I get into the actual live writing, you want to make sure it sounds like a spoken conversation. The reason is because clients always seem to get all these boring templates and all these boring applications that start like, hey, I was so impressed by your job posting and your business sounds so exciting. Like this shit just doesn't feel natural. It feels forced and it feels non-genuine. And it turns everybody off. If you can smell miles away that this stuff is not genuine, like how the hell are you expecting someone to actually like you and to work with you, right? So you want to make sure it sounds like a spoken conversation, right? So how do you do this? First of all, you read the job post carefully and pick up the exact words the client used. So let's say you have a landing page post, right? And somebody calls landing page an opt-in page. Someone calls a landing page a capture page. Someone calls a landing page a sales funnel. Basically, different clients call the same thing by different names, and using their words back to them tells you exactly that you actually listened and that you actually read their post. What you want to do, you want to make sure that you put 2 to 3 of their own terms into the proposal naturally. Don't rewrite the job posting, okay? It's like, that's not gonna sound genuine again. So just, use a couple of their terms here and there and you'll be golden, okay? Like I've said, don't overdo it or it becomes obvious. And last thing, when you mention your portfolio, never just drop a link, okay? Drop a benefit that comes from reading or looking at your portfolio. Okay, so like I've attached my landing page portfolio so that you can see that you can expect nothing but excellence from working with me. Basically, this makes them feel more safe. This makes them feel conviction that you are the right person to work with. Last thing, before I get to the actual writing, the proposal, make sure to close without looking desperate. So what do I mean by this? Never, and I mean never ever, end your proposal sounding like you need this more than they do. So like, don't just write, please check my profile. I hope you consider me. Hey, I really appreciate talking to you. Like, you sound like a desperate dork. And all of these things say the same thing. They tell the client you're asking for a favor, not offering a solution. And let's get honest, nobody likes desperate people. And here's the thing, clients feel that energy and it pushes them away every single time. So it's not about being arrogant. It's about showing up as someone who's actually confident and actually has something valuable to offer. So what you do at the end is you simply end with a specific question and one clear step. So like, if you like my approach and the examples I've shared, the best move is to book a call. What time suits you the best? I'm available, on Wednesday, 2nd January from 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. Super simple, right? And like I've said, offer specific availability to remove every last bit of friction. So I'm free Monday to Wednesday between 5 and 8 p.m. Because what this gets you is now it just lets them reply with time and they're done. There's no friction between them getting on the call with you, right? It's like super simple and you make their life so much more easier. So after reading your proposal, they feel like you're actually helping them, okay? Because you're just showing them, hey, I can do the job, I'm eligible for the job, and here's the next steps. So you're the leader, okay? You're not making their life harder by giving them essays, by giving them terrible templates, all these things, right? So with that being said, let's get right into the template that actually generated me most of my money. So yes. All right. Right now I've picked a funnel building job for almost 5K. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how I would apply to this job if I were you. I'm not going to be using my social proof and my reviews because obviously you don't have any. To do that, I'll be using the proposal template I have included in the link under this video with also all the action steps and everything you need to get your first client and to get you your first 10 grand as soon as possible on Upwork. So let's get right into this. So don't even think about it, just select general profile. Here, make sure to click getting paid by project, which means basically it's going to be one-time job. It's not going to be hourly, all these things. How long this project will take, always say less than 1 month. And this is pretty much all that there's to it. And here you're going to write the cover letter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the proposal, copy it here. Make sure there's spaces between each sentence because you want to make sure like, hey, this is because you want to make sure this is easily readable, right? That's pretty much that. So yes, right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read the job posting, and based on that, I will customize the proposal, and I'll tell you how I'm customizing it and why. So let's go. Okay, so the client pretty much wants someone who understands how funnels actually work and how to build them to get appointments, to get leads, to get results. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. He also wants examples of funnels you've built, preferably service-based or real estate, what you would focus on in the first 2 weeks, your recommended platform and why. Very simple. So let's go over this. Okay, so hey, first name. Now, how do you actually find the first name? Well, you need to go to the reviews. This guy actually didn't have any name in the reviews. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna say, hey, without the first name. But if you find his name in the reviews, in his past reviews, include it, okay? Hey, the reason why I'm confident I can help you deliver. And now we need to say, what does he say? High converting. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, hey, the reason why I'm confident I can help you deliver a high converting lead gen funnel for for your real estate, let's see, for your real estate business. And look, it's because I've reverse engineered over 100, and this is very important, right? This is where the reversed psychology and borrowed authority come in place, because I've reverse engineered over 100 lead gen funnels and ads from people like and now I'm just gonna say from Hormozy, because Hormozy is big on service-based businesses and lead generation. Like, he's the GOAT of funnels, right? He's like marketing genius. If you don't know who Alex Hormozy is, he generated 100 million in like 72 hours. So and also what you want to do here, don't say over 100, say like over 40. This feels like a random number. I've reverse engineered over 40 lead gen funnels and ads from, or we can do like more, from Alex Hormozy, so I know exactly what's proven to work to generate more leads for your real estate business. Boom. My name is Jakub and I live in Prague, Czech Republic. Now, what you need to do, write 3 quick sentences of what makes you different. The reason why I am so confident my approach will, and now we have to say the result, which is generating leads for his business. The reason why I'm so confident my approach will bring will generate, let's use this. Let's use the name of the program, so just copy it. The reason why I'm so confident my approach will bring as many qualified appointments as possible for your first time home seller blueprint is because I base my funnel building decisions and strategy of people who have already generated millions of, because of studying people who have already generated millions of dollars, and therefore I want to say, like, I don't turn my clients into guinea pigs, and therefore I don't turn my clients into guinea pigs. Below are links to some of my best lead generation funnels, so you can see the quality level you can expect, including work. And now you need to, like, if you have like relevant portfolio, just say including work for real estate businesses, right? Because like that's the relevant business. And then you just, include links, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I'd love to learn more about your project. Is there a time this week or next that you're free for a quick 15-minute call? I can do a call anywhere from Monday till Friday between 8 a.m. till 12 a.m. What is your ability? Thanks. Looking forward to talk to, and then I just give my signature. Boom, that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Like I've said, I used authority from other people to make myself more credible when I don't have the authority, okay? There's ways to make yourself look credible even if you don't have social proof. This is one of the best ones, and this is how I actually structure my proposals. Perfect, you're one final step away from getting your first client on Upwork. That final step is to close your prospect on a call. So think of it this way. The main purpose of the job application was to take them on a call, and now the purpose of the call is to get them to create a contract and pay you. Now, when I first started, I was extremely scared of jumping on a sales call, and you're most probably too, right? Because most of you just never done it. But let me tell you that sales calls on Upwork are the easiest thing in the world. And that's not because I'm selling you a dream, but because the client already knows they need your copywriting. They already have picked you by agreeing to hop on a sales call with you, and now your only job is to prove you can do the job decently, and that's pretty much it. And if you follow the framework I use every single time I talk to clients, I don't see any other alternative for you but to succeed. So let's get into this. All right, so the first things first, make sure to show up like a pro. I can't repeat how important this is. This means be on time, camera on, and fully ready before they join. This alone puts you ahead of most freelancers in your category. Next thing, make sure that you look clean and that your setup looks clean too. Because look, first impressions happen in like 3 seconds and they don't really change after that. So don't give them a reason to doubt you before you even say anything, okay? This means a clean iron shirt, good mic, good webcam, and quiet background. Also make sure to put your phone on airplane mode. Because like, look, if you expect someone to give you 1K or 5K, and what they do is like, they show up in a crib and there's like fucking cats and like dogs and like all these things, and like their camera is half blurry and you can't hear them, would you trust this person to do something for your business and give them like 5 grand? Last thing, and actually a first thing, make sure to test everything 5 minutes before a call. So make sure your audio works, your internet is stable, and that your camera works. Nothing kills trust more than saying, hey, can you hear me? Hey, it's lagging. Like, you don't want to be coming up as a unprofessional, right? Like, look at it this way. You don't have any social proof. You don't have any previous reviews. And so you don't want to kill your chances of actually making a good first impression, because that's your only superpower. So make sure to show up as professional as you could possibly be. Next thing, very important, make sure that you show your leader of the call. So like right after saying hi, just tell them exactly how the call is gonna go. Because this puts you in control from the start and makes you look like you know what you're doing. And it sounds exactly like this. Here's how the call is gonna go. I'll ask you a few questions about your business so I actually understand what you need. Then, if you have any questions for me, go for it. And based what we talk about, I'll tell you what I think the next best steps are. Sounds good? The second they say, sounds good, you're leading the call. And whoever leads the conversation controls where it goes and how it ends. And that's the whole point of this opener. It also removes uncertainty for them immediately. Because most clients just hate not knowing what's coming, and you solve it by just saying this one sentence and taking the initiative of the call, right? It's the same as if you're going with a girl on the date. You invite her on the date, right? It's the same way with the call. You invite them on the call. And then, like, if you were the one who arranged the date or who arranged the call, it's natural that you actually lead something you arranged yourself, right? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. It's like, come for a dinner, but you're gonna cook. Like, it's pointless, right? It doesn't make any sense. Now, from this point forward, you're not a freelancer hoping to get hired. You're actually a professional running a structured conversations. And clients just can feel the difference. So, yes. All right. Let's go over the call structure. So start with what they sell and what they charge for it. So just ask them, because let's say a $47 course is a completely different from a $5,000 coaching program or $5,000 product, right? The price tells you how serious this project is and what level of copy you need to write. So get specific and don't let them stay awake. Then ask who buys from them. So the reason is simple. You need to know exactly who you're writing for. And if they say entrepreneurs, that isn't good enough. You need something like fitness coaches trying to get their first 10 clients online. The more specific they get, the better you can write the copy and the better the copy can perform. Then the next thing that you do is you get clear on what exactly you're building. So don't just accept landing page, for example. You need to know if it's a lead gen page, if it's a sales page, or, don't just accept like email. You need to know if it's a lead nurturing sequence, if it's a sales email, if it's a newsletter email, like what are you actually doing specifically? And then ask, why do they actually need this now? Ask them, what made you reach out right now? Is something not working? Because this gets you the real reason they're hiring you. And you're gonna use that answer later when you explain how you'll help them. It's the pain point that matters to most of them. Now, very important thing, make sure to write down their exact words when they answer these questions. You're doing this because you then want to repeat their own situation in their own words to them. First of all, this makes you look like you actually understand what you're doing and you got this information for yourself. So when you start working, you know what to do. And second, and most importantly, it makes them feel like you listened and like you actually care. And if you genuinely show them that you care, they're more likely to pay you. So it's a psychology, it's a strategy. Now, the very important thing, which is how to close the call and how to get them to pay. Like I've said, before you give price, summarize what you heard in their own words. So you say something like, let me make sure I got this right. You've got a coaching program for real estate agents. It's $3,000 and your sales page isn't converting before your next launch. Is that correct? Like I've said, you want to do this for two reasons. You show you listened and people love being heard. And second thing, you actually ready to deliver a project. Then walk them through how working with you is going to look like. They don't need every detail. They just need to feel like you have a clear plan and that you know what you're doing. So you're giving them a sample of what working with you is going to look like. And if you do this correctly, you're already giving them a sample of the experience, which makes them feel more confident to actually give you money and to actually trust you, which is like the ultimate thing you want to have at the end of the call. And like I've said, this makes them more likely to hire you. After that, say how long it is going to take you to deliver the project. Obviously, you want to be as fast as possible. And then the most important thing, don't bring up the price until they ask for it. Because this keeps you in charge of the conversation and as a complete opposite of someone who's desperate. When they ask, say the number flat and then stop talking. Just shut up. For this project, it's $800. And then just silence. Don't justify it, don't add anything. The moment you start filling that silence, you're telling them you're not confident in what you're offering. When they're ready, confirm the next step immediately. Great, I'll send over the contract today. Once the milestone is funded, we get started. Sound good? And make sure to get them to pay you on Upwork. Okay, so the way it works on Upwork is the client or you can create a contract and then you need to get paid first before actually starting the project. And this doesn't mean they will give you the money, they will just fund the contract, which means they don't have the money, but you also don't have the money. So like the Upwork is like the middleman that holds the funds until you deliver the project. This makes both of you safe. Last thing, and very important thing, if you bring up the price, sometimes they might give you objections. Sometimes they might give you hurdles to go against. So how do you actually handle these doubts? The single most common objection is, I need to think about it. This basically means something unspecific is bothering them. So ask, totally fair, but help me understand, what specifically do you need to think about? Is it the price, the timing, or something else? In this way, you reframe it. Next thing, very, very common. I'm talking to other candidates. Here, you need to reframe the conversation. So you say something like, that makes sense, you should. But when you're comparing, what are you actually looking for? Because if it's just the cheapest option, I'm probably not the right person. But if you want copy that actually converts, that's a different conversation. So like, do you see, and then they will tell you, hey, I obviously don't want the cheapest person. I want this to work. And you say, well, then you can see my portfolio, you can see my accolades. Boom, you reframe the conversation. The next one, very common one, is can you guarantee results? So you combat this by reframing again. You combat this by saying, I can't. And anyone who tells you they can is lying. What I can guarantee is the work. I'll research your market, study what's converting in your niche, and build your copy on proven frameworks. Whether it converts also depends on your offer and your audience. And that part's on you. Again, you reframe it. Now, if they genuinely can't afford this, just say, it's fine. We're probably not going to be a great fit. It was great talking to you, and just hung up. Because like if someone doesn't have money, like you cannot do anything about it, right? However, if they do, and if they try to cheapen you out, well, then you can do some cool stuff. All right, so that's it. You know now exactly what it takes to land high-paying copywriting clients on Upwork. Now it's just about taking action. And to make this as easy as possible for you, I put together a free cheat sheet with every single step we covered today. It's got all the action steps, the exact profile template, the proposal templates I use, the questions to ask on calls, everything. Just click the link in the description and grab it. It's completely free. And if you guys found this helpful, drop a comment and let me know what video you want to see next. Just let me know in the comments and I'll make it happen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.